All right, so once again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Brother Charles. You're just joining us to the call. We are about to kickstart of today's webinar training session for Ultra BNB. And my name is Daniel Awajida Custom, the founder of Ultra BNB and also your host and presenter for today's webinar call. Welcome, Anna. We are still waiting for the rest of the family to join us on this call, but we're going to kickstart with the introduction, which is basically about Ultra BNB. So Ultra BNB is a community-driven program built on the BNB blockchain designed to provide decentralized earning opportunities to participants across the globe. Unlike traditional platforms controlled by centralized administrators, here with us in Ultra BNB operates through a smart contract that is 100% decentralized, transparent, and immutable. And once deployed, this smart contract cannot be altered, which ensures that the system runs exactly as programmed without manipulation or interference. So that is it with us here in Ultra BNB. It is 100% decentralized, meaning you have total control of your earnings and how the platform operates. In terms of its success, depends solely on its community, as we do have this saying that your network determines your net worth. And a standout feature of Ultra BNB is its peer-to-peer structure. Yes, there are no administrators holding funds or requiring members to manually claim rewards. Instead, every payment flows directly and automatically into members' wallets. And this direct model gives participants confidence knowing they retain control over their assets while enjoying frictionless automated earning system. So that is it with Ultra BNB. Everything regarding payments, rewards, or earnings is done automatically through the smart contracts. Now, let me share this real quick. There is a disclaimer. Yes, we are about to go deeper into this. I would like us to take a caution about these disclaimers. It's very important. We do understand that the internet space do have numerous opportunities for us, but at times there are unforeseen circumstances which do happen. At times it's not even the owners, their fault, or developers, their fault. It's just human behavior. I have been victims to this in the previous systems we've ever participated. I'm a network marketer just like everyone here on the call. So aside being the founder, does not exempt me from the fact that I'm a network marketer who understands this space. So these precautions on here, let me say disclaimers, are for our own benefits so that we do not invest more than what we can't afford to lose. Yes. So as cryptocurrencies or online investment are always unpredictable and previous results can guarantee the same in the future. Now, I think I've already spoken about how Ultra BNB works, but let me run through this real quick. So Ultra BNB is a brand new and a highly lucrative program built on the BNB blockchain. Ultra BNB is a smart contract, which means it is 100% decentralized, transparent, and can never be changed. All payments go directly to our wallet, our chosen wallet, be it MetaMask, Trust Wallet. Sorry, Trust Wallet is not part, it's all muted. So MetaMask, Token Pocket, or SafePal. The reason why we are not recommending Trust Wallet is the fact that Trust Wallet have been compromised, but they are not coming out to say this. Most of our users in previous platforms which we've participated using Trust Wallets always do have these complications of their account being hacked and their funds being withdrawn out. So for us to keep our community safe, we are only recommending these very best wallets, which is Token Pocket, MetaMask, and SafePal, and not for any of us or our users to also use an exchange wallets, not under any circumstance. Yes, so there are some exchange platforms like Binance, Bybit, which do have a dApp browser. I wouldn't say dApp browser, but their browser supports some smart contract systems. But at times during the process, they flag these smart contract systems because of their authenticity, in a sense where they need them to how they call it, audit their platform. And auditing smart contract project costs about 5 to 6 figures in terms of its fee, which not everybody can afford that. So that is it. Now, what is smart contract? Yes, smart contract is a self-executing digital agreement written into lines of code that run on a blockchain. These computer programs automatically execute, control, or document events and actions, emulating the need for admins or human interference. And because they are stored on a decentralized and distributed blockchain, smart contracts are transparent, irreversible, tamper-proof, and secure. And with us in Ultra BNB, we utilize this technology to provide a peer-to-peer decentralized system or networking system for our community. So how does Ultra BNB works? Joining Ultra BNB requires a one-time entry cost of $25 in BNB Smart Chain with additional small gas fee for blockchain processing. And this cost unlocks participation in multiple interconnected earning mechanisms that's for the system and reward members. So we're about to look at how these $25 entry purchase play a part, a major role in terms of our rewards on here with us in Ultra BNB. So the $25 entry cost is not limited to a single income source, but instead is distributed strategically across various features that enhance sustainability and as well, maximize our rewards here. So with this $25, 13.5 goes into the Powerline network, which feels a Powerline, reward. Basically, rewards being paid to users waiting in line to earn and cycle out. Then out of this same $25, $4.5 goes out to the auto buyback feature. This is in a form of like a mechanism or an accelerator which helps boost the Powerline rewards and earnings, giving our community members the opportunity to be able to earn and cycle out multiple times and faster. And it's possible for one to even complete a cycle in a day, depending on how fast the network growth is in terms of entry. And one thing we need to understand on here is that with Ultra BNB, the rewards are tied to entries and not referrals, meaning you can choose to refer or not, and yes, to you earn based on the community driven tax, and as well as the team which you find yourself in, where you get spillovers or spill out from upline sponsors and even cross-line members. Yes, so the same this $25 entry cost, there is a $1.5 which goes into the Unilever network. We will be looking into data how these commissions come into play. And 0.5 also contributes to a top 15 leaderboard reward bonus, which is awarded to the top 15 leaders every week. And there's another exciting income opportunity in the form of like an incentive for team builders, those that will be actively sharing this amazing opportunity with others and their loved ones and family. And a $5 BNB also contributes to the 3x2 team build network. This is my favorite part in the business. The 3x2 team build network favors our structure, our team build structure. Even though we are contributing to the global Powerline network, its growth will equally be contributing to our personal team build growth, where your team members get to earn spillovers from your recruit. And one other thing we need to understand that, like I keep saying, the rewards are not tied to referrals. So in the 3x2 team build structure is the most amazing mechanism which we've strategically put in place, where our people are going to earn tremendously because you are playing a major role, where if you are referring, among your referrals will get spillovers from you. And equally, when you and others are purchasing multiple entries, they also benefit from these entries, because the entries that positions the spot or fill out the spot in your network, in your 3x2 team build. Yes, we will be looking into data very soon. So let's proceed on. Now, there are 4 ways to earn with us in Ultra BNB. And the very first one, which is the global power line, a global queue that cycles entries and ensures continuous movement. So with this global power line, whether you refer or not, you will find yourself on here in the global power line, contributing to its growth and also rewards. And equally, you will also benefit from this activity. So basically, here it does in Ultra BNB, it takes money to make money, where we are contributing to each and everyone's courses or agenda in a form of like raising some capital to start up your personal business, to do something which you really want to do in terms of with capital. Likewise, yeah. So instead of you going to banks for loans or attending to some few of your friends in your circle for loans and stuff like that, no, you can leverage platforms like Ultra BNB to raise such capital to start up your private business or invest in whatever you wish to do with your funds. Now, the second income opportunity is the Unilever network. So with the Unilever network, we'll be looking into data. This is your team built growth, which is basically your direct referrals and their subsequent referrals. And it goes deep down to the seat level, but pays its reward widely, like infinity. So meaning you can invite as many people as you wish, and they'll all be positioned in your first level. And as your team continue to build or they grow in their numbers too, you equally benefit from the other levels in that line of recruits. We'll be looking into data shortly, so don't be alarmed about how it works. Now to the third income opportunity, which is the top 15 leaderboard. Yes, I think I've already highlighted how the leaderboard is going to play a role here. Basically an extra incentive for team builders where they are going to earn more based on their efforts. And the final income opportunity, which is the 3x2 team build. So the 3x2 team build is a team build based structure that creates spillover and creating earnings for our team, all right, for our personal team. Yeah, so we'll be looking into data as well, how that also works. So starting with the global power line. For every entry into Ultra BNB is automatically placed into the global power line queue. Yes, and this feature is designed to give all members, regardless of their recruitment skills, an opportunity to earn. So let's take this straight line we see on here to represent the global power line network. Now, each entry pays out 2 times at 13.50, totaling $27 in BNB value. But let's look how this reward comes into play. So we are going to take any of us here on the call to be member entry 1 as we see in the Powerline network. So assuming you are member entry 1, you purchase your entry within a time frame of, let's say, 5 p.m. All right. So within that time spot of 5 p.m., you are being recorded and placed into the global Powerline with an entry number. And like I said a few minutes ago, each individual or each entry receives payments, twice payment of 13.50, making a total of 27. Then you cycle out. So the next party coming into the Powerline network, which happens to be member entry 2 contribution, comes to you, all right, because they are coming in right after you. Yes, so let's assume member entry 2 came in within the time frame of 5 p.m., 30 minutes late, all right. Yes, so they then will come below you. They are next after you, and their contribution is what the system is going to assign to you as your first reward. Now, we understand that you receive twice payment of 13.5, making a $27 total, and you cycle out. So the second member or entry that comes to join the global power line globally, whether you refer them or not, as long as they are contributing to the Ultra BNB community growth, you equally benefit from them, and they also benefit from the rest of the community likewise. All right. So member entry 3 contribution also comes in here, making that total reward or profit of $27. So let's read this statement here. Each entry receives 2 payment of 13.50 in BNB for a total of $27 in BNB. From this, the system sets aside $20 in BNB and pays $7 to members' wallet. Yes, take this information very, very important. Yeah, so of this amount, $20, which is reserved for system buyback, it keeps the cycling going over and over again for you, and you will be earning $7, which is paid directly to your wallet every time for 5 consecutive periods. So we'll be looking into that shortly. So here it says the second payment causes the entry to cycle. Yes, indeed. And once you've received twice payment of 13.5, you're out of the Powerline network. And the next person to secure the top position will be member entry 2, because they were the very persons, let me say, came in right after you sign up and purchase your entry. So member entry 2 was 30 minutes late, but even though he was 30 minutes late, he is being positioned right beside you or next to you. So therefore, it makes them or qualifies them to be the next party to secure the top position, where they equally receive twice payment of 13.52 for them to also cycle out. So look at what is going to happen once member entry 2 secures the top position. The next member or next entry moves up, also follows suit to get to 810 to also earn a cycle out. So this is what is going to happen when a new entry comes in. Let's not forget, as I keep saying, the rewards here are tied to entries and not people. So even though you are looking at member entry 2, it could be like one person can have 5 or 10 or 100 entries playing a major role in the Powerline network. And with their contribution, helping others earn, equally also benefit them once it gets to their turn to also earn and cycle out. So to maximize your income potential, the goal here is having multiple entries purchased. Now, back to the presentation. So once the new, or let me say, a new entry is contributed to the network, their contribution is therefore paid to the next party, next in line to receive this reward. And that happens to be member entry 2. So member entry 2 receives $13.5, leaving out the second reward for him to also receive and cycle out. But member entry 1, which happens to be you, the moment you cycle out, the system set aside $20 to create your next entry. So with this $20, the system is gonna recontribute back into the Powerline network, and with that contribution, get you a new entry point in the Powerline. And out of that contribution, 13.5 goes to fill the second payment for member entry 2. Completing member entry 2 reward cycle, so he or she can equally also cycle out from the Powerline network. So this cycle goes on for every user, where it helps us to be earning and cycling over and over. But each entry cycles a total of 5 times before expiring for a total of $35 in BNB. So if you're having, let's say, 5 entries, all right, and each of the 5 entries cycle out, you'll be making a total of like, if my math is correct, that should be $175 as total profit, including your capital, where your initial capital was $100, right? So in this case, it means $175 minus 125, that should be $50 profit. Yes, so even in a day where you cycle from 5 entries, just in a day you earn yourself $50 in profit for completing a simple cycle where we are all contributing to each other's benefit. That is how amazing it is. So imagine earning $50 3 times, 4 times, 5 or 10 times in a day, depending on the flow of the community team build. Then it means you can flip that $100 or $200 or whatever capital you wish to start up with. You can flip it multiple times in earning more in terms of the rewards. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. But it doesn't end there, as there is an extra way which even helps us earn more in the Powerline network. So there is just an extra, and that is the Powerline system entries. So if we all remember or recall very well, from the initial stage, where you purchase an entry, there is a distribution of that funds in terms of like the $25, a portion going to fill the payment slot in the Powerline, a portion going to the auto buy, a portion going to into the leaderboard and all that. So here, the portion which goes into the how do you call it, the Powerline system entries, where it's like $4.50, once it accumulates to 13.50 in BNB, it creates a system entry. So that mechanism of the system auto buyback, once it accumulates to 30.50, it creates a system entry. Now, the system entry, its purpose is just to contribute rewards to the Powerline network, helping our members to earn and cycle out quickly and faster. So let's take a look at this, where system entry contributes to the Powerline network. So the moment it accumulates these funds, that contribution is paid to the next person in the Powerline to receive their rewards. So member entry 1 receives $13.5, and when, let's say, the next entry that is coming in can either come from an actual person, or a person who just recycled, or a person who is re-entering back into the Powerline after completing 5 cycle, or the system entry itself buying another entry after accumulating 13.50. So with us here in Ultra BNB, there are several ways or numerous ways to earn in the Powerline network. So look at it, where member entry 2 also comes to play. That contribution completes member entry 1 reward, cycling member entry 1 out of the Powerline. And as we do understand, the system entries, they do not end. Their purpose is just to contribute to the benefit of our members, and these are to help our members earn and cycle faster and nothing else. So the moment system entry secures the top position, guess what is going to happen here? The system entry expires. Yes, leaving the top position vacant for one or the next member to secure that position. So as the system entry expires, the top position is now vacant or available for the next member to secure under. And that is member entry 2, because that is an actual person owning an entry in the Powerline network. So similarly for member entry 2, once again, when the system entry accumulates to 13.50, they contribute rewards to member entry 2, earning his first income. And once again, when the second entry comes in for member entry 3, that contribution also helps complete the cycle for member entry 2, which helps member entry 2 to equally cycle out from the Powerline system. So the system entry, its purpose is to basically keep funds, moving through the Powerline network, helping our members to be earning and cycling out faster. So that is it. But let's take a look at the rules of the Powerline network. So each participant receives two payments of $13.50, as we understand, totaling to $27 in BNB. And from this, the system sets aside $20 and pays out $7 in BNB directly to members' wallets. And meanwhile, the initial capital within the smart contract is contributed to the system buyback, which is used to purchase additional entries, and this process helps users earn more frequently and cycle out faster in the power line. So without initial contribution, no matter how much you started with or your capital was, with that contribution, once you have completed 5 cycles on all the entries you had purchased with that contribution or capital, that initial capital is therefore contributed to the system buyback, helping our users or the active entries waiting in line to equally also earn a cycle benefit from that reward. So they also benefit where others cycle out and their initial capital comes back into the system buyback to create system entries, helping users earn and cycle out faster. So as you can clearly see in our Powerline network here in Ultra BNB, there are numerous ways for our users to be earning consistently without delay. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Now moving on. From each $25 entry, you make a total of $35 in BNB. You will cycle 5 times, then your entry expires. Your $20 capital goes to the system auto buyback to speed up the Powerline cycles. And you can purchase up to 20 entries every hour. Yes. So if you plan to, maximize your income potential, then the goal is having multiple entries. By here, there is a limit to how many entries you can purchase so that one individual will not, or let me say an individual will not dominate the power line so much. So we've given that grace period of 20 entries every hour. All right, so every hour you can purchase 20 entries. So if you're planning to come in with, let's say, 100 entries, that means you need to be purchasing 20 20 20 25 times within 5 hours. Then that is it, you have yourself with 100 entries in the global powerline network. Now moving on to the next or the second income opportunity, which is the unilevel income or structure. So the unilevel system rewards members who actively share Ultra BNB opportunity. It provides unlimited direct weight, meaning participants can invite as many people as they like on their first level, and commissions are paid across 6 levels deep wherever someone in a member's team purchase an entry. All right, so we can clearly see that on here on the left side of the chart, and payments go directly users' wallets without the need of making a withdrawal. That is the exciting part of our platform. So assuming you invited 10 people and each of them purchased 10 entries, that will make a total of 100 entries, right, in your level 1. So in your level 1, the total sales in terms of the entries purchased by your referrals is 100. Multiply 100 by 50 cents, and that is $50. So in your level 1, you can make $50 right on here from the 100 entries purchased by your 10 referrals. Yes. Now, if your 10 referrals decide to duplicate in number, where let's say they refer 2 people or 2 persons each, that will make a total of 20 people in your second level. So 20 indirect referrals. Let's assume they also purchase 10 entries each. That will make a total of 200 entries. So in your second level, you in total revenue for the sales in terms of entries purchase is 200. So 200 multiplied by 30 cents, that is $60. So in the first level, you earn $50 from the 100 entries purchased by your 10 direct referrals. And in the second level, you are earning $60 from the 200 entries purchased by your 20 indirect referrals. From the second level to the seed level, all the rewards you are going to earn on there are not commissions coming from your direct referrals, but your subsequent referrals, which is their direct referrals in that line of recruits or chain, all the way to the seed. So here in the Unilever network, you even earn more, just like you are earning from the powerline system. And these figures can keep on going if we are to do the maths all the way down to the seat. Hopefully tomorrow's section, I will come up with a chart where I'll break it down in terms of the rewards coming to you when you purchase a certain number of entries, and equally when you engage in team building where they also purchase a certain number of entries, how much you are earning more on top of that in terms of the Unilever rewards and other benefits from the other side of the business. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen, with the Unilever system or income, and it pays in between 10 cents to 50 cents. But in an actual sense, this is a $1 contributor to the Unilever network, which is distributed to the above sponsors in our line of recruit to the seat level. Yes. Now moving on to the third income opportunity, which is the top 15 leaderboard. Yes. So Ultra BNB, we recognizes and reward top community builders through its leaderboard bonus pool. All right. And for every $25 entry we purchase, as we understand, 50 cents in BNB is allocated to a weekly pool. And the top 15 inviters for that week share the rewards distributed across the rank positions, and we will be looking into details how the ranks also come in play. All right, so for reward percentages, it ranges between 1% to 20%, yes, out of the total pool amount, and it's paid to the top 15 leaders for that particular week. And the following week, it has a reset. The leaderboard will have a reset to reward the next leaders that qualifies for that new week. Yeah. So again, this is paid directly to members' wallets without the need of they making a withdrawal. So here it is in Ultra BNB. In terms of rewards, everything is paid instantly and directly to your wallet without you ever wondering to make a withdrawal or even having pending withdrawals whatsoever. So once rewards have been paid out, the leaderboard is cleared out and a new weekly competition starts. And we will be looking into that once the system goes live, how the leaderboard also contributes to team builders' benefit. Now, let's take a look at how the ranks and rewards are commissioned to our top 15 leaders. So the ranks start all the way up from Ultra Prime to Ultra Nova. Yes, so we have Ultra Prime to be the superior or the top leader in the ranks or the leaderboard. And they earn 20% commission out of the total amount in the leader reward bonus pool. So assuming if we have $10,000 in the leader rewards pool for a particular week, it means the top leader Ultra Prime is earning 20% out of $10,000, which will be $2,000 commission to him for that particular week. So aside all the earnings that leader is earning from his team build and from the power line and all that, there is an extra bonus also commission to that particular leader at the end of the week. So if it is $10,000 or $20,000 or $100,000 in the pool for that particular week, this means these top 15 leaders will be earning these rewards percentages out of that total amount. So if it is $100,000, then guess what? Ultra Prime leader is earning $20,000. If it is $200,000, then it means Ultra Prime is earning $40,000. So the numbers can be ridiculous on here, and it's based on entry purchases that makes it come to life where our team builders earn more based on their efforts. Now, moving on to the next. All right, so before then, there is an important notification on here, which says a 5% fee applies, which the system automatically deducts from rewards. And this fee goes into the system buyback. Once the buyback accumulates to 13.50, it is used to purchase a new entry system, which basically help the power line move faster and our users in the power line to earn frequently. So you see, with us in Ultra BNB, our focus is mainly for our members to consistently earn and be cycling over and over and faster. So whenever we get a little opportunity to help our users in the power line network earn faster, we do that. In the initial stage of every entry purchase, there is $4.5 going into the auto buyback. And this buyback system is a mechanism which boosts earnings in the powerline network, as we understand. Secondly, every user initial capital, after they've completed 5 cycles, that initial capital also goes back into this same mechanism of auto buyback to purchase system entries, helping our active users in the powerline to also earn and cycle out faster. And once again, out of the top 15 leader reward bonus pool, there is a 5% which comes out of every leader's reward bonus, which also contributes into the system buyback, helping our users in the power line to continue earning over and over and over again. So there are ways and means in strengthening the rewards in the power line as well for our users to be earning and cycling over. And we put all this into thoughts, making it possible for our members in the global build to also earn and cycle out quickly. Now, to the fourth income opportunity, which is the 3x2 team build. This is how it works. As soon as you buy your first entry for $25 in BNB, your enroller or sponsor gets a payment of $5 in BNB. And you will also benefit from spillovers and spillouts from your direct referrals, upline, downline, and crossline members. So equally, the 3x2 team build also provides a significant team build growth and in terms of reward for users in this particular system. So let's take a look into data how the 3x2 team build works. Everyone starts with 3 empty spots, as we can see on this diagram. Now, as you invite people and they make a purchase, it triggers payment of $5 in BNB. So assuming you invited your first person into the business and they purchase their entry, the moment they make a purchase of this entry, that entry coming from the position 1 in your 3x2 network, guess where that contribution goes to? It goes to you. So you always receive rewards coming to you in your first level or the first position in your first level, which is directly paid to you. Now, the second and the third persons in your, let me say the second and third position, for those individuals, their contribution will then go to your sponsor. So sponsor receive payment coming from your second line of recruits, which is your second level. And that is the second and the third position entry spots owned by your referrals on your first level. With this principle, it happens for everybody else. Now, let's move on to the next diagram so you understand this better. Your level 2 members also start with 3 spots, and the payments from each of them filling their number 1 spot goes to them. So equally, assuming you invited or you referred 3 people and they make their purchase of entry, the first person who did their purchase, that contribution came to you, as we observed that in the previous slide. And the second and the third person contribution went to your sponsor, as we observed that too. So similarly, that principle will apply on here when your line of recruits extend to the second level. So the 3x2 team build is basically just 3 referrals, 2 levels. That's it. So in your second level recruits or second level network, guess what? For them, whether they referred or they got spillovers from their upline or from their sponsor or even from crossline members, these individuals are positioned in your 3x2 network. And as long as you find them in your network, that contribution comes to you. So as it says on here, the payments from each of them filling their number 1 spot goes to them. So either you referred them or you got them by spillovers, that contribution goes to them. But look at this. The second and the third position reward or payment will then come to you because you are the sponsor here or the upline here in their second line of recruits. So you benefit $30 contribution in the second level. receiving $5 from the second and the third position entries. But it says here, the final payment which you are supposed to receive on the third leg, that final payment, look at what is going to happen. That final payment will trigger a re-entry or a new cycle and opens you a new position to start over again. And you can cycle an unlimited number of times and earn $35 in BNB each cycle. So with this new position which the system triggers for you, guess what? It's going to open a new board under your sponsor. So in the 3x2 team build, we always follow our sponsor. We always follow our leader. We always follow our team. So it's a team build network, as it says. So there is no way you will find your team in like under someone else's team. No. As long as it is your team build, your individuals, your folks, they will be within your team. And they'll always follow you accordingly onto every new board the system triggers after completing the final payment. So here too, in the 3x2 team build, one can see themselves earning $35. So for some reason, if you want to make money fast, or if you want to start seeing results coming in faster, then you can choose to either refer 3 people only, where they also duplicate by 3. In so doing, everyone duplicating by 3, each and every one of you will start seeing yourself earning faster and cycling out in the 3x2 team build, whilst you equally wait to earn from the global build once it gets to your turn. Because with the global build, we understand that it works based on a first come, first serve principle. You get it? But here in the 3x2 team build, it is based on active team building. Meaning, the moment you start team building, you start earning rewards in the team build. And equally, when you get spillovers coming from your team build or your sponsor or upline, then guess what? Your earnings starts coming through in the 3x2 team build. And these rewards are tied to entries. So assuming maybe I am your sponsor, and I equally also have my sponsor, and me being your sponsor, I purchase 20 entries. What do you think is going to happen here? With these 20 entries, they are going to trigger spillovers. Let's assume I already have my 3 individuals in my first level, and yesterday I purchased 20 entries. So it means these 20 entries are just going to fill my next 3 referrals, or my 3 referrals in my first level is going to fill their metrics or their levels in the second level for me. And equally, it's going to create spills for their members and other entries within the network, helping everyone be earning and cycling over and over and over again. There is no system designed as this out there. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the very first time we are about to observe something tremendously here with UltraBNB 3x2 team build network, which is entitled and tied to only entries and not people. So just have a little patience with us. Very soon, hopefully this week, we're going to launch this. We're trying to reach that milestone of having 500 to 1,000 registered users. Already registrations are ongoing. So if you're here with us on the call and you haven't signed up yet, get back to the person who shared this amazing opportunity with you. Request for their link and try and register for your account. Remember to use a DApp wallet, be it MetaMask, Token Pocket, or SafePower, and have a little bit of BNB to execute your registration in that case. All right, so moving on to the next slide, how to get started. Getting started is quite simple. You need to download any of these DApp wallets, be it MetaMask, Token Pocket, or SafePower. Then you fund in with at least $25 in BNB plus a little extra for gas fee. So if you plan to start with just $25, then you can, have $2 to $3 as an additional to that, making a total of $27 to $28. But don't get me wrong, the system is not going to deduct all $3 in terms of for gas fee. No, it's just going to take the portion needed for the gas fee and leave the remaining for you, so you can continually be able to deal in transactions whenever you earn. You try to pay it forward for others to also join your network and so on and so forth. Yeah, so you will have excess balance in there after registering and buying of your entry. So once you are through with that, the next thing is to get in touch with the person who shared this opportunity with you in the first place. Request for their link, then you sign up, and on the day of launch, you purchase your first entry with us here in Ultra BNB and witness the earning potentials here and how fast this system is going to reward us accordingly. Now, before we bring this presentation to an end, there is an important notification on here which says, please only use one of the three wallets recommended. Do not, under any circumstances, use an exchange wallet. It's very important. I think from the beginning of this presentation, I stated those facts where exchange wallets, for the first time or for the time being, you have access to register, you purchase your entries, but as time goes on, they will flag the smart contracts in a sense where you will not have opportunity to log in back into your account, and that can hinder your growth, but the rewards will still be paid to you whenever it gets to your turn. So for you to escape this tragedy, it's very important we follow instructions, and that is to have those recommended wallets, either MetaMask, Token Pocket, or SafePal. That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that brings us to the end of today's webinar training. Hopefully tomorrow, same time, same place, we're going to meet up here, have another section, and tomorrow we're going to dive deep into learning how we can maximize our income potential and also the purchases of entries on here, how it's also going to play a major role in terms of our growth and rewards. So for the time being, I'm going to open the chat for some few Q&A. If you have a question here, you can either write them in the chat or you raise up your hand, I'll call upon you, then you ask your question. Thank you. Let me stop the recording so we start up with a Q&A.